Terrific Tuesday, everybody. It's this guy, Sammy the Man McIntyre. We are back. Moving the Chains podcast. It's this guy. We are back breaking down everything football-wise. We got a couple more trades I want to touch on. I'll go dive over more of the free agency stuff as the week continues. But the two I didn't touch on yesterday was David Montgomery goes from Detroit to Houston. And in exchange, the Lions get a center from the Texans and some draft capital, and then the Browns get Tytus Howard from Houston. So there's a lot of play going on with the Texans, Lions, and Browns, those three teams intertwining there. But I want to start with the first one, which I started off at the top. David Montgomery goes to Houston. I do not love this move from his side of things. The Lions have been, the last couple of years, since Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes have kind of built this thing from the ground up in Detroit, to a powerhouse. I mean, they've been to an NFC Championship game. They've been to the playoffs. They've been the number one seed. They've just been highly respected. And Dave Montgomery's a big fact part of that. He was Knuckles in the Sonic with Gibbs and Montgomery. That was a great combo. You get your lightning. You get your power. You get your power, Montgomery. You get your lightning with Gibbs. And I just look at the Texans. And listen, the Lions got Juice Scrubs, a fourth rounder, and a 2027 seventh round pick. Whatever. It is what it is. And I think the Lions need a center. Frank Ragnow retired. So I get it from the Lions' point of view, getting more ammunition to kind of load up their roster. But from the Texans side of things, this just doesn't scream to me great move. And I think they're an excellent team. I got to wonder about the quarterback because I like C.J. Stroud a lot. But I don't know what's gotten into him. I mean, that playoff stretch was ugly. It was not good. It just was, it's hard to fathom. I mean, if you would have told me I had to pick between C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young, well, that rookie year, I'm like, it's C.J. Stroud. And then, after your rookie year, but he gets tape on you, and it's been kind of unraveling ever since. Different systems. I got all that. But when I look at the Dave Montgomery to Texans, that just doesn't scream to me. I think the Lions got better in return than the Houston did. Houston's losing an offensive lineman. They're giving them away like it's goodwill. So I don't love this from Houston's side of things. Their offensive line is still a question mark. It's kind of the knock I have on these defensive coaches. They just don't value it. It's kind of crazy with the Niners. Do they not value offensive line? Because Kyle Shanahan sure doesn't. I mean, it's hard to believe that. But I just didn't love that move. David Montgomery to Houston. It just didn't scream to me right decision. If it wouldn't have been Houston, I think a team that would have made sense would have been the Kansas City Chiefs, and I was told that they were interested in him. So that kind of made more sense to me. Dave Montgomery going to Kansas City, kind of be that bell cow back, because he kind of was in Chicago before they got pushed out the door in Chicago. So I do think the Lions benefit from getting Juice Scrubs, the center from the Texans, who kind of made that offensive line okay as it was. And then they get David Montgomery, who's trying to replace Joe Mixon. There's kind of a lot of moving parts there. I wasn't the biggest fan of that move. And David Montgomery, I think he's going to wake up and he's going to go, well, I had a pretty good thing in Detroit. Sometimes the grass is not always greener on the other side of the pasture. So that's kind of where I'm at. And then on the flip side of things, I'm kind of bleeding here. Excuse me. I'm looking at the other trade I saw was Tytus Howard going from Houston to the Browns. And this just screams to me bad. I don't love this. Cleveland is just a turnstile. They are what they are. I mean, they kind of have it coming to them. I don't love this move at all. I think the Houston Texans, to me, and they're a loaded football team. They just had Reed Blankenship yesterday. They're doing a lot of good things, and I like what the Texans have done. Nick Caserio, D'Amico Ryans, and that brain trust down in Houston. I like it a lot. Excuse me, I don't know what's going on with my finger. I'm bleeding here. But I do think the Browns get a fifth-round pick for Tytus Howard. It's not a bad thing. And Tytus Howard's a good player. Max Crosby and him had it going on their rookie year. He's a very solid player. Not elite tackle, but pretty good. So I do think Houston and Cleveland are kind of in different spots. I think Houston's a really, really good team. I said this a couple years ago. I said this last year a bunch of times. I think Houston's really close. And if their quarterback just kneeled on the damn ball, they might have won that game in New England. I really do. And I just, moving forward, I don't know how much I trust Cleveland. I mean, the Browns, they just can't get out of their own way. It's self-inflicted. And I look at the Texans and I go, they know what they're doing. And they just got to get a little bit more ammunition, a little bit more firepower, and they're ready to go. So that is all I got for you guys tonight. It was a short, quick video, but I'm ready to go. We got more coming up this week. Stay tuned tomorrow because the Raiders, it's Raider Day tomorrow. And get prepared because I am so fired up, over the moon. Tyler Lindenbaum, what I think about this thing moving forward, I'm fired up. So stay tuned throughout the week. I got pod content coming out for you guys. Love you. Terrific Tuesday. Adios. Godspeed.